You walk between heaven and hell like you have citizenship in both realms and allegiance to neither.
Not metaphor, not poetry, the literal experience of being you.
Spiritual people find you too dark.
Dark people find you too conscious.
Angels are drawn to you but circle you carefully.
Predators recognize something familiar in you.
And then discover too late that what they recognized was their own reflection.
You don't belong to either side. You have never belonged to either side.
And for most of your life, nobody had language for what you actually are.
I'm going to give you that language today, but first I want to tell you something about what this dual vibration actually costs. And what it proves. I have a stalker. Year 5, a man who came into my life, recognized something in me he wanted to own, discovered he couldn't, and has spent 5 years trying to destroy what he couldn't have. His own father joined in. Buying monkeys still arriving at the gym, at the store, in professional spaces, in my family.
Gossip networks activated and maintained across years.
New recruits in Year 5, a coordinated sustained campaign against one person who simply refused to collapse. Why does somebody do that? Why does it require an army?
Why does it involve a father and a son running a joint operation for half a decade?
Because the dual vibration, the thing I carry, the thing you carry, is the one configuration they cannot neutralize. They can break pure light. They can corrupt pure dark.
But someone who holds both simultaneously, who cannot be seduced by darkness because they've already integrated it, who cannot be destroyed by sustained attack because their spiritual architecture is held from both directions.
That person represents something that a predator's entire operation system has no response to.
Except escalation.
Except obsession. Except 5 years.
This is the Heyoka sacred paradox, the dual vibration of angel and demon held in conscious integration. Not good versus evil at war inside you, light and dark working in concert, unified in service of a purpose that most people and most predators cannot comprehend. In the ancient Zoroastrian tradition, the oldest recorded framework for understanding the interplay of light and dark, the highest spiritual function is not the elimination of darkness, but its conscious navigation, the capacity to move between the realm of Ahura Mazda and the realm of Angra Mainyu without being claimed by either. The dual vibration bearer is not someone who has chosen light over dark. They are someone who has mastered both.
Today we are going through the 7 signs you carry this rare dual angel-demon vibration, signs you're operating at a level of integration most souls never reach.
Signs your specific configuration is what makes you simultaneously a target for darkness and immune to it.
Let's begin.
Here's the first sign. You can hold divine compassion and strategic ruthlessness in the same moment without conflict, not oscillating between them, holding both at once. Most people experience these as opposites. You are either being compassionate or you are being strategic. Either your heart is open or your boundaries are sharp. Either you understand someone's pain or you are executing a decision that limits their access to you. They cannot hold both because they experience them as contradictions. You don't experience them as contradictions. You feel profound compassion for someone's wound while simultaneously recognizing that their wound is not your responsibility to absorb. You understand exactly how a person got to where they are, the trauma, the history, the accumulated damage, and you make a clear, clean decision to remove them from your life anyway, not despite the compassion, with it. The compassion is what makes the boundary precise rather than cruel. The ruthlessness is what keeps the compassion from becoming complicity.
In Kabbalistic teaching, this integration is described through the twin pillars of the tree of life, Chesed and Geburah. Chesed is divine loving kindness, boundless compassion, the force that gives without limit. Geburah is divine severity, precise judgment, the force that cuts without cruelty. The mystics taught that neither pillar alone produces wisdom. Chesed without Geburah produces enabling, love that drowns rather than lifts. Geburah without Chesed produces tyranny, judgment without mercy. The path of the spiritual master runs between the pillars. The dual vibration bearer walks this path not as a spiritual exercise, but as their natural operating mode.
This is what confuses people about you. They think if you really cared, you'd do more. If you really understood, you wouldn't have limits. If you really had compassion, you'd stay. But you understand something they don't. That real compassion requires boundaries. Real love requires discernment. And the most loving thing you can sometimes do is refuse to participate in someone's dysfunction, no matter how clearly you understand how they arrived there. If you can feel infinite compassion while maintaining perfect boundaries, if you can love someone and cut them off in the same breath without contradiction, you carry the dual angel-demon vibration. And this integration is your power. Here's the second sign. Predators are drawn to you because they sense something familiar. They recognize a frequency in you that feels like their own. And then they discover, too late, that what they recognized was not kinship. It was their own reflection. This is the most dangerous and most revealing sign of the dual vibration. Because predators, narcissists, manipulators, dark triad personalities are not drawn to pure light workers. Pure light workers repel them immediately. The brightness is threatening. The cleanness has nothing for them to hook into. But you they approach. Because your demon frequency reads as familiar to them. They sense you understand darkness, that you speak its language, that you have been in places they have been. And in the initial contact, this feels like recognition, like meeting someone from the same country in a foreign city. They relax around you in a way they don't relax around pure light.
What they don't understand until it's too late is that the Heyoka's mirror does not discriminate. It reflects everything. The predator who approaches a dual vibration bearer hoping to find a fellow traveler in darkness instead finds themselves looking at their own face, their own tactics, their own emptiness, their own mechanism, reflected back with perfect clarity by someone who cannot be recruited, cannot be manipulated, cannot be made to look away. In Gnostic tradition, the sacred mirror, the kataptromancy, was understood as one of the most powerful spiritual tools precisely because it showed the truth that the ego constructed its entire architecture to avoid. The dark empath, the narcissist, the predator, they have built elaborate false selves to escape this mirror. The dual vibration bearer is the mirror they cannot escape.
I have watched this exact dynamic play out over 5 years. A man who approached me because something in my frequency read as familiar to him, who spent the early period believing he had found someone who understood his darkness, and then realized that what I understood was not his darkness as a companion, but his darkness as a mechanism. I saw what it was. I named it. I refused to participate. And the 5 years since has been his response to that refusal. His father joined, flying monkeys recruited and maintained across years, gossip networks seeded in every environment I occupy, professional spaces, social spaces, my family's orbit, new operatives in year 5. The escalation is not power. It is the response of a predator who believed they had found a kindred spirit and instead found a mirror. And what the mirror showed them, they have spent 5 years trying to destroy.
This is the specific cost of the dual vibration. Pure light workers repel predators immediately. They are never approached because there is nothing familiar, but the dual vibration bearer is approached, engaged, invested in. And then when the mirror reveals itself, the predator's response is not retreat. It is war, because the injury is deeper, the exposure is more complete. The one who seemed like a kindred spirit and turned out to be the mirror of their own darkness. That is the wound that drives a 5-year campaign.
If predators are drawn to you before they understand what you are, if dark people approach you with the relaxed confidence of someone who thinks they've found an ally and then discover their mistake, if the intensity of the retaliation when you refuse to comply has surprised even you, you carry the dual angel-demon vibration, and the campaign against you is not evidence of your guilt. It is evidence of your function. Here's the third sign. Your shadow is integrated, not suppressed, not performed, not used as an identity, integrated, consciously held, known completely, chosen not to act from. Most people deal with shadow one of two ways. Spiritual people suppress it. They perform permanent light, deny the darkness exists in them, and watch it leak out sideways in judgment, in passive aggression, in the cruelty that self-righteous people are uniquely capable of. Dark people express it. They act from rage, from cruelty, from the pleasure of domination, and build their identity around their capacity for harm. You do neither. You have looked directly at your own capacity for darkness, the rage, the desire for revenge, the knowledge of exactly how you could destroy the people who have tried to destroy you, and you have chosen, consciously, not to act from it, not because you don't feel it, because you've integrated it. You know your shadow completely, and that complete knowing is what gives you the choice.
Carl Jung spent his life articulating what every serious mystical tradition had already encoded. The shadow is not the enemy. The unexamined shadow is the enemy. The shadow that has been faced, named, and integrated becomes the source of the most authentic power a person can carry. In the alchemical tradition that Jung drew on heavily, this process was called the nigredo, the blackening, the descent into the darkest material, which preceded the albedo, the whitening, the emergence of purified consciousness. You cannot reach the albedo without the nigredo. You cannot carry integrated light without having first descended into your own darkness and survived it. The dual vibration bearer has completed this descent. The integration is the credential.
After 5 years of sustained attack, smear campaigns, flying monkeys, gossip seated in professional spaces, contact made with my family, I know exactly what I am capable of in response. I have felt the rage. I understand the mechanism of what was done to me at a level of precision that would allow me to construct something equally devastating in return. That knowledge is in me. That capacity is real. And I have not used it, not because I am incapable, because I have integrated it. I know my shadow. I have chosen not to act from it. That choosing, that conscious, daily, sustained choosing in the face of 5 years of provocation, is the integration. And the integration is what the predator cannot understand. They deployed everything designed to either break the light or activate the dark, and found someone who holds both, consciously, and refuses to be moved by either manipulation. If your shadow is known to you and chosen not to act from, if you understand your capacity for darkness and have integrated it rather than suppressing or expressing it, you carry the dual angel-demon vibration. And your integrated shadow is what makes you immune to the manipulations designed to weaponize it. Here's the fourth sign. You can hold sacred space in hell. You can enter the darkest environments, the most toxic situations, the most spiritually polluted spaces, and your frequency does not destabilize. You do not absorb the darkness. You do not need days of recovery. You can be in hell and remain yourself. Most light workers cannot do this. When they encounter genuinely dark environments, the darkness overwhelms their system. They absorb it, carry it home, spend enormous energy cleansing and recovering. They can hold light in comfortable spaces, but take them somewhere truly dark and the light dims. You are different. The darkness in the environment does not threaten you because you have already integrated darkness within yourself. External shadow cannot contaminate you because you are not pretending to be shadowless. You have no unintegrated darkness for the environment's darkness to hook into. It moves through you rather than lodging in you.
In the shamanic traditions of the Siberian Tungus people, where the word shaman itself originates, the healer's primary qualification is not their capacity for light, but their capacity to travel between worlds without being consumed by the lower realms. The shaman who cannot enter the underworld is not a shaman. They are a priest, a ritualist, a performer of surface ceremonies. The true shaman is the one who has made the descent, survived it, and can return at will, not because the lower world is comfortable, because they carry both worlds inside them, and neither has power to claim them exclusively. The dual vibration bearer is this figure in embodied form, not traveling to the underworld in trance, living between worlds in ordinary life,
The spaces I have had to navigate over 5 years. Professional environments pre-salted by someone's gossip campaign. Social spaces populated by flying monkeys briefed before I arrived. Family situations contaminated by a narrative I didn't write. These are the lived equivalent of holding sacred space in darkness. Entering a room where the ground has been poisoned before you got there. Maintaining your frequency, your clarity, your dignity. In a space specifically designed to make those things impossible. And it is possible. Not because I am invincible, because the dual vibration carries its own protection. The angel frequency maintains the connection to what is true. The demon frequency recognizes every tactic being deployed and refuses to be surprised by it. Together, they create a stability that external darkness cannot penetrate, not because the darkness isn't real, but because it has nothing in you to hook into. If you can maintain your frequency in environments designed to destroy it, if you can walk into poisoned spaces and come out intact, if you can hold sacred ground in hell, you carry the dual angel-demon vibration. And this capacity is not something you were given. It is something you earned through every dark space you have already survived. Here's the 5th sign. People confess both their highest aspirations and their darkest impulses to you, often in the same conversation, without filtering, without performing, without editing themselves to show you only the parts they think you can handle. Pure light workers get the light confessions. People share their spiritual experiences, their moments of transcendence, their dreams. Pure dark people get the dark confessions. People share their shame, their rage, their capacity for harm. But they edit. They show each type of person only what they think that person can receive. With you, the editing stops, because your dual frequency creates permission for wholeness. They sense that you will not glorify their light and pathologize their dark, that you will not pretend their shadow doesn't exist, or that their light is naive, that you can hold the full spectrum of what a human being actually is, the transcendence and the devastation, the love and the rage, the divine aspiration and the capacity for cruelty, without collapsing either into judgment or into performance.
This mirrors what the Sufi mystics called the maqam of the heart, the station of the spiritual heart that has been polished through suffering until it can reflect the full reality of what it encounters without distortion. The polished heart does not amplify the darkness it receives, nor does it bleach out the complexity of what it sees. It holds, it reflects, it returns to the person who brought their shadow the clearest possible image of what they actually carry, seen with the eyes of someone who has walked through their own darkness and returned. This is not a technique. It is what happens when a person of genuine integration is present. The wholeness calls to the wholeness in others.
I have had people tell me things in a single conversation that they had never told anyone. Not because I created some special therapeutic container, because something in the dual frequency communicates, without words, before words, that I have been somewhere dark myself. That I know what it is to carry something that does not fit into either the light category or the dark category. That I will not run. People who have been running from their own duality recognize in you the first person who might actually be able to hold what they've been carrying alone. What you notice when this happens is that the confession itself begins the integration. The thing they have been splitting into acceptable and unacceptable, light and dark, spiritual and shameful. The moment it is held whole by someone who does not flinch, it begins to cohere. Your dual vibration does not just receive their wholeness, it invites it. It makes it possible. If people confess both their highest and their lowest to you, if they show you their full spectrum with a trust they cannot fully explain, you carry the dual angel-demon vibration. And your wholeness is what makes wholeness possible in others. Here's the 6th sign. You are repeatedly called into dark places, not because you sought them out, not because you have poor judgment, not because you are attracted to dysfunction, because something, call it mission, call it divine assignment, call it the specific gravity of what you carry, keeps placing you at the edge of darkness that needs a very particular kind of presence to move through it. Look at your life honestly. How many times have you found yourself in toxic environments you did not manufacture? How many workplaces turned out to carry dysfunction you had no way of knowing about before you arrived? How many relationships brought you into contact with someone's unhealed shadow in ways that felt less like bad luck and more like placement? How many times have you been the person in the room who could see what was happening when everyone else was blind to it or pretending to be?
In the Yoruba tradition, the concept of Ori, the personal spiritual guardian that exists as both an inner guide and an outer protective presence, is understood to choose the soul's assignments before birth. The Ori does not consult the ego. It assigns the soul to the work that the soul's specific configuration is built to do. For the dual vibration bearer, that assignment is consistently at the threshold, the places where light and dark meet, where the work cannot be done by someone who only carries one frequency. The darkness is not an accident of your biography, it is the terrain your Ori sent you to work in.
I did not choose 5 years of stalking. I did not choose to have a man and his father run a coordinated campaign across my professional life, my social spaces, my family's orbit. I did not choose the flying monkeys, the gossip networks, the pre-salted rooms I walked into, not knowing the ground had already been poisoned. I did not choose any of it, and I have also come to understand that I was placed in it, not as punishment, as assignment. Because what 5 years of navigating that darkness produced is not just survival, it produced a map. A precise, detailed, earned map of how sustained psychological operations against a single target work. How gossip networks are seeded and maintained. How flying monkeys are recruited and deployed. How a smear campaign reaches professional spaces without ever being traceable to a source. How a predator and his family coordinate. I did not go looking for this knowledge. The assignment brought it to me. And that map, that specific, irreplaceable, experience-built map, is medicine that no amount of research could have produced. Only descent could have produced it.
This is the essential quality of the dual vibrations calling. You are not sent into darkness to be consumed by it. You are sent into darkness because you are the rare configuration that can enter it, function within it, understand it from the inside, and return with something that serves the light. The shaman does not descend into the underworld for the experience. They descend to retrieve what was lost. Your descent is purposeful, your return is the medicine.
If your path keeps placing you in darkness you did not choose, if you find yourself repeatedly in environments that needed exactly your capacity to survive them, if the hardest things in your life have produced the most precise and irreplaceable knowledge, you carry the dual angel-demon vibration, and the darkness was not your punishment, it was your assignment. Here's the seventh and final sign. You know, with a certainty that does not require external confirmation, that you are being prepared for something specific, something that requires exactly this combination of capacities, something that has not fully revealed itself yet, but that the entirety of your experience has been building toward. You have felt this your entire life. The sense that the darkness was not random, that the training was intentional, that the configuration you carry, the dual vibration, the integrated shadow, the capacity to hold sacred space in hell, the mirror function, the ability to be called into darkness and return, is not accidental. It is precise. It is designed for work that requires all of it simultaneously.
In the Hermetic tradition, the ancient philosophical lineage that synthesized Egyptian, Greek, and early Christian mysticism, the principle of correspondence teaches that nothing in the manifest world is without purpose in the unmanifest. The suffering of the initiate is never wasted. Every descent corresponds to an ascent. Every capacity forged in darkness corresponds to a work that requires that exact capacity. The Hermetic initiate is not prepared through comfortable instruction. They are prepared through encounter with their own darkness, with the world's darkness, with the full weight of what it means to carry both frequencies in a world that demands you choose one. That preparation is the credential for work that the uncomplicatedly light and the uncomplicatedly dark cannot do.
I am 5 years into my preparation, and I can see with the clarity that 5 years of sustained darkness produces what the preparation has built. The capacity to be targeted without being broken. The capacity to hold my frequency in environments specifically designed to destabilize it. The capacity to see a coordinated campaign in real time and name every mechanism without being consumed by the naming. The capacity to carry spiritual protection guides as operational architecture, not as comfort, as the actual structure that held through every year the campaign ran, through every space it reached, through every attempted breach. My spiritual protection guides have been present through all of it, not as passive witness, as active architecture. When the flying monkeys arrived in new spaces, when the gossip networks reached people I love, when I walked into rooms where the ground had been poisoned before I got there, something held that was not just my own strength. That holding is real. I cannot prove it in a way that would satisfy a skeptic. I can only tell you that someone who has been held through what I have been held through knows the difference between coincidence and protection. And what I have experienced is protection.
The dual vibration bearer is never alone in their preparation. Every tradition that has produced genuine spiritual warriors, from the Lakota vision quest where the thunder beings themselves oversee the calling, to the Sufi concept of the Wali, the friend of the divine who walks under direct spiritual guardianship, to the Christian desert fathers who understood their solitude as populated by presences both threatening and protective. All of them encode the same understanding. The one being prepared for the hardest work is the one most closely accompanied. The preparation is difficult precisely because the work requires it, and the accompaniment is real precisely because the work requires that too.
If you sense that your suffering has been preparation rather than punishment, if the hardest years of your life feel in retrospect like training for something specific, if you carry a knowing that what you have been built through is not finished yet, you carry the dual angel-demon vibration, and you are further along in your preparation than you think. If 5 or more of these signs resonated, if you felt recognized in ways that landed somewhere deeper than your mind, you are not confused about your frequency. You are not split between light and dark. You are not too much, too dark, too intense, too paradoxical. You are carrying the rare dual angel-demon vibration, and you are exactly what you are supposed to be. Stop apologizing for not fitting the purely light framework. Stop explaining your darkness to people who can only hold one frequency. Stop shrinking the complexity of what you carry into something simple enough for people to be comfortable with. Your dual vibration is not a problem to be resolved. It is a capacity to be used.
You are not fallen, you are not ascending, you are both at once. You hold heaven and hell in the same body, in the same moment, in perfect paradox. And that paradox is not your confusion, it is your architecture. The Zoroastrian, the Kabbalist, the Gnostic, the Shaman, the Hermetic initiate, every tradition that has taken the full complexity of human spiritual experience seriously has recognized that the highest function is not the elimination of one pole, but the conscious integration of both. You are that integration, walking, functional, forged.
Subscribe and follow this channel, because every video in this series is built for exactly this. The ones who walk between worlds. The ones whose experience of darkness has not been accidental but assigned. The ones who have been held through things that should have broken them and came back with medicine nobody else has. Drop a comment. How many of the 7 signs did you recognize? And tell me, what has your darkness produced that you couldn't have gotten any other way? Because that answer is your medicine, and this community needs it.
And if you want to go deeper, if you want the extended frameworks, the spiritual protection work, the practical guides for navigating the specific warfare that dual vibration bearers face, the Patreon is in the description. That space is for the ones who are serious about understanding what they carry and using it with full precision. The ones who are done performing either frequency and ready to work from both. You will know if that is you.
Your darkness is not your shame. Your shadow is not your wound. Your comfort in places that destroy others is not evidence of corruption. It is evidence of completion. You went in. You survived. You came back carrying something that cannot be taught, cannot be downloaded, cannot be acquired any way except through the descent itself. Your guides are holding the line with you. We see you. I'll see you in the upload.
Stay lit.